Hey y'all, it's me, Delores, the pastor's daughter. Hey y'all, get on in here. We have part two of the review of Princella the Queen Maker's video, The Birth of the Male Psychosis. Listen, we got to get into it. But first, let me give you guys just a few minutes to get on in here. So what's going on? What's going on, you guys? I have missed you. Let me t- let me tell you. Okay, first of all, we back. Let's just bask in that for a moment. Okay, we back. We back, y'all. And guess what? I have some new podcast equipment. So I told you guys I plan on thoroughly getting on y'all's nerves with this podcast equipment. Okay, but like, be happy about it. Okay, just embrace it, okay? Because just embrace it, okay? Listen, let me paint the picture for you, okay? I am sitting here in the she shed. It's dimly lit, and I have my blankie across my lap. I'm sitting in a recliner. I made me a good old cocktail, and we are just going to sit back and do part two of this review today. Um, just real chill, like real chill. We're just going to relax and just watch this part two. We'll probably get another hour of, good video watching and good content. I'm gonna try not to talk too much because honestly, Princella, she explains herself well. When I add my commentary, my main focus is just to give my side of things. And when I say my side of things, I mean that I'm coming from the perspective of a daughter, the daughter of a narcissistic pastor. You guys know that I wrote a memoir. Volume one of my memoir was released last year, and so I've been, just on this mission of really raising awareness of spiritual abuse and religious narcissism. And so when I found Princella's videos, it really resonated with me because of the experience that I also had with my father and the things that I discovered, um, just being his daughter, just being observant, having discernment, really just analyzing the situation as it is, weighing out his behaviors and his actions, seeing how he treats the members and how he treats his family, the hypocrisy, the mask that he was wearing, the sense of entitlement, the exploitation of the members and the family, all the things, and really just the lack of real, genuine love. And so, um, when I discovered Princella and she said that males are incapable of love, that message resonated with me because I realized that my father was incapable. And I think that, as a daughter coming from this perspective, a lot of us daughters will realize that our very foundational relationships lacked the very thing that we find ourselves searching for in our relationships. And so when we, find ourselves at this place in our lives where we are searching for something that a person really cannot give us, but something that we should be finding within ourselves and discovering within ourselves and giving ourselves. Um, that's when we, have to take a little step back, do some self reflection, and realize that it was our foundational relationships that really left us susceptible to the abuse, manipulation, control, and this quest for, or, left us with this desire to find something in someone from a place of deficiency. And so, that's why her message resonated with me. And so this video, I mean, she has a ton of videos, you guys. I mean, honestly, we could just pick one and go with it, you know? But the main point is that I want us to realize that discernment is really um what we are lacking in a lot of these situations. Like even when you find yourself unable to really hear what she's saying, more than likely it is because your discernment is off. And even when the Kevin Samuels videos was coming out, um my main position with that messaging was, don't listen to Kevin Samuels until you have healed from your childhood trauma. Don't listen to Kevin Samuels until you heal from your daddy issues, because you won't be able to really use your discernment weighing out what's, you know, somewhat decent information from the information that is harmful. And the thing is that we find ourselves in today's time where it's not really a matter of discerning between right and wrong, but it's discerning between what's right and almost right. It's discerning between um, the falsehood that's mixed with a little bit of truth, that you end up taking the whole thing as truth when it's really mostly falsehood, but it's basically dipped in a little bit of truth. So you take the whole message as is. And that's what we are really lacking, is that discernment to be able to see the difference in what people are saying, because they add a little bit of truth to it. And so let's go ahead and get into this video. We're starting at the 48 um, minute 58-second mark. Um, Let me see. I want to make sure that you guys can hear me okay. Like I told you, I have some new podcast equipment, so I'm being real extra. Okay, so let's just give a round of applause for the new podcast equipment. Okay, like your girl is doing some extra things. So let's just be happy about that. Also, I want to just say shout out to the new subscribers. I mean, okay, look at God, won't he do it? Won't he do it? I appreciate you being here. Um, of course, with new subscribers, there comes, new critics and, um, just people being a bit extra and conflating the message and starting confusion and all of that stuff. I really am not the type. Okay. Let me just let me just tell you a little bit about me, okay? I'm not really the type of person to engage in any back and forth on social media. If I see that the conversation is going in a way, or a person asks a question that just really is, um, how should I say, yeah, stupid maybe? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess no question is a stupid question, but I mean, yes, it is at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Because people like will purposely, misconstrue what you say, or try to cause confusion, try to cause division, and do all the things. And my discernment is on another level, and I'm just simply not going to engage. So, like, that's my stance. I will really just literally leave a person on red. But see, like, I don't want anybody to really take that, people who have actual good comments, to mean that that their comment isn't valid or worth me responding. I just I don't know, like, I just am not the greatest at, that part of it, like, really responding to a lot of, like, written back and forth messages. I prefer to actually have a conversation. I do a lot of writing. My book, the, the guidebook is coming out next week on my birthday on Wednesday, which is August the 9th. And so I've been working hard on that. Oh, let me tell y'all. So the last couple days, I have been wrestling with this. I had pink eye, y'all. Like, what the like, who gets pink eye these days? Y'all, tell me why I had freaking pink eye, y'all. And like, it was the worst. Like, I couldn't open my eyes. That's why I'm just not even on camera today because this is the first day that I felt better. And so I've been trying to catch up on getting the guidebook edited. This is it right here. The Religious Narcissist Decoded. It's a step-by-step guide to discerning the tactics and impact of religious narcissism. And this book has everything you need to be armed with the knowledge, to do self-reflection, to know what these people do, how they act, how they present, the tactics that they use. Um, the religious narcissist plays the long game. Um, and so they get you ensnared through using your religious beliefs, your faith, and all of that to really ensnare you to manipulate, control, exploit, abuse. And this is how I grew up, being the daughter of a narcissistic pastor. So I have a lot of insight, both from an experience standpoint and an education standpoint. And so I'm putting all of that in this guidebook so that it helps you all to really be armed with the knowledge that you need. It also includes journal prompts, questionnaires. I mean, really, really good information on self care and how you can recover and repair um, from spiritual abuse. So that's what I've been working on. And today, because this was my first day feeling better, I wanted to try to catch up on getting those edits done so I can get that back to Amazon and have it ready to for you guys to go ahead and download. If you are already on my mailing list, you will be getting a digital copy of the Religious Narcissist Decoded Guidebook for free. So make sure that you join my mailing list. Um, Information should be in the description on YouTube, and I'll go ahead and put my email in the chat box. Also, you guys, aren't you excited? Like, aren't you excited about the Religious Narcissist Decoded? Because you know what? Like, as long as we are putting out information about them, they cannot deceive us, you know? They have taken to social media to spread their message. A lot of religious narcissists have left the church and got on social media because they realize that their message can be spread further than the four walls of a church building. And instead, they are able to reach people far and wide with their harmful messaging. And you know what? We, as believers or spiritual people or whatever you want to identify yourself as, sometimes we tend to believe, well, social media is the devil. But yeah, I mean, it's the devil if you let the devil take over. But we can also take to social media and spread our message of love, raising awareness of what these people do, how they act, the damage that they cause, and really creating a community where we can heal and empower each other, and to where they can't do what they want to do because guess what? We are on their ass. Okay, so look at God. Look at God, won't he do it? Okay. So let's go ahead and get into today's video. This is Princella, the Queen Maker, also known as Pasta P, honey. So let's go ahead and discuss this video. And let me know, like this is my first time streaming with um this new podcast equipment. So I'm hoping it's not gonna give you guys like an echo or anything like that. But let's go ahead and get started.
So you are crazy if you think a piece of paper and a fucking word is going to stop the human behavior of males trying to pass their genes along. That's hardwired into them, right? And some of
Y'all
y'all think that you can be like males, right? Because you believe males are superior to you. So you stoop to the level of a male and then you try to do what he do, making shit worse because you don't know what it means to be a woman, right? You don't actually know what it means to be feminine because your whole idea of femininity is bringing yourself down to make yourself easier prey. Because you listen to male identified femininity coaches who try to appeal to males. Baby, femininity don't appeal to males. Femininity is free and do what the fuck it want to do.
Ooh, okay. Listen, I got like I got this thing from YouTube saying that they age restricted my videos because Professor P, look, as African goddess calls the Professor P, Pastor P, Princella the Queen Maker, honey. She does not filter her words. She is very raw and uncut. And she said, "Look, honey, I am not gonna change. Okay, like look at God, won't He do it? Won't, won't He do it?" Hey, African goddess, I am well. Are you able to hear the video okay? Like I got some new podcast equipment, so I am hoping that um that the video plays clear on you guys. And can you let me know? Let me know. Let me know. Mm-hmm. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, let's continue, y'all.
Not what the male wants it to do. You understand? So if you listening to any femininity coach trying to get you to appeal to a male, you listening to a fucking liar. You listen to a dummy who don't know what she talking about. Right? That's why she insisted he use a condom, blah, 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 but he refused. Me, I have left the marriage. I am done with him. His family is on my neck as if I did something. Hit pick me ism. And I bet it's his mama that's on your neck.
Mm. All
Cause
right, y'all. If you missed the last one, Priscilla is reading a story from a subscriber or someone who maybe wrote to her. She saw the story. Well, this lady married a man about 5, 6 months ago, and before they got married, they were both HIV negative. Well, she's writing Princella because now they are both HIV positive, and it is because the husband stepped out and slept with someone who he described as a distant family member. He claimed that he wasn't, having any type of a inappropriate relationship with her. However, he was. The girl said that she insisted that he wear a condom, but didn't tell him why she was insisting. But clearly, he decided that he wouldn't, and so he gave his new wife the HIV, and she found out because she was pregnant. And when she went to the doctor, she found out she was about 3 weeks pregnant and that she was HIV positive. So now she is trying to figure out, should she just stay in the relationship, because now the damage is done, and should she just stay? And so um, Princella is saying, well, like, what you mean the damage is done? I mean, you have HIV, but there's this lack of trust. There's, all of these other things that come into play. So um, that is where we are now. And now the lady is saying, well, his family is kind of blaming me, and giving her a hard time because they feel like she should just stay. So that's where we are in the story so far. Let's continue.
see, women got this real funny thing about taking up for their deadbeat
Mhm.
sons. Because everybody is indoctrinated with patriarchal philosophy. So fuck the woman. I bet it was his mama, the number one,
Mhm.
right? His family is on my neck as if I did something. Will going back to him undo the harm? Ma'am, why are you asking this question? You asking this question because you have been poisoned with patriarchal philosophy. You don't know your value, you don't know your worth or your place on this earth. So only a person who is insecure, confused about why they're here, who they are, would ask a question like, will going back to him undo the harm? Ma'am, last time I checked, HIV was incurable.
Last time I checked.
It's manageable, but incurable. Can you undo that? No, ma'am. Can you undo the trust? I, what's the question? What's
Yeah. She said, what's the question?
the nature of this question? Will it fix my life? At this point,
Y'all look at me feel like that.
I don't even think you really want to answer to this question. You just want validation. You just want to be heard. Because I know you don't mean, I know you're not serious about these questions. Will it fix my life? Just 5 months of marriage and you ruined my entire life because you banked on a word and you didn't bank on the nature of a male.
And you know what's sad is that I believe that she she feels like, okay, I'm just 5 months in and I finally got a man. I finally am married, and now I can say that I'm married and I can't just leave because I can't just get remarried. Like he's made me sick and I'm pregnant. So, but I want a man and I want to be married. No one has to know that he's done these things to me. No one has to know that. Plus, his family's putting pressure on me anyway, so I may as well just stay. Mm. Thank you, African Goddess. I have the 5 Components of Love book, and I am about to get all into it, honey. I'm about to get all into it. So I'm really excited about that. And I think it's really going to, adding my perspective to it and really talking about the position of a daughter is really going to r- add a level of awareness to the message that Princella is putting out. Because what I'm saying is, I don't believe that a lot of us daughters really realize that it was our foundational relationships that left us um, in this position of a deficit where we felt like we were missing something, that we weren't loved properly, and then that left us susceptible to the tricks and the schemes of other men. I firmly believe that men groom women for abuse by other men and, well, males. And sometimes it's our fathers that actually groom us for abuse by other men. And I believe that that was the situation in my family. Even though my father was a pastor, a lot of the messaging that he gave me, the very first, well, one of the main things that I remember him telling me was, "You need to get married young because you're not going to be pretty forever." And I say, I'm sure that he gave me more advice than that. I mean, possibly, but that's one of the things that really stood out to me. And here I am now, with 4 marriages under my belt, you know? And the very first time I got married was when I was 18 years old. And so it was that indoctrination and those foundational relationships that really left me susceptible to making bad decisions over and over again. Now, I'm married to my 4th husband. However, I consider him to be my forever husband because I started to do the work to heal from my childhood trauma and my daddy issues. So when I, met my husband and married my husband now, it was from a more healed place. a place where I made sound decisions based on the right things. And so, I believe that that happens in a lot of situations where it's our foundational relationships that really left us susceptible to being abused and mistreated, and really searching for what we already had within ourselves. So thank you. And, put that in the universe, honey. I'm definitely open to it.
I will just poison him if they dare convince me to go back. I regret everything. You're going to have to take this as a life lesson. Now is not the time to regret something that you can't change. Now is the time to figure out where you went wrong. It's time to analyze what the fuck you did wrong. But women don't analyze what the fuck they did wrong. They get angry, they bottle it up, and then they go out and look for another male to because they think they chose wrong. Because you know why you think you chose wrong? Because you too busy listening to fucking predators. You're too busy listening to a predator. Huh. Well, so I love it. I was laughing. I was laughing. I think I think I think Sister Yanni got a. I don't know her audience. I don't know her. I don't know the nature of her audience. But I know she has to word things in a way to not whatever her audience is and their belief systems. I know she has to word things in a way that don't send them out the stratosphere that make them mad so. But when she said that I'm extreme, I laughed. I laughed because what I'm saying is not extreme, sweetie. What I'm saying is just a flat out raw truth. Right? Now you get these stories all day, every day. You look at the world and see who it's run by. All of these areas around the world are patriarchal. They're run by males. The
You know what's crazy, y'all, is that, when she mentions her message being extreme, I haven't told my mother about Princella the Queenmaker, right? And it's because I feel that my mom is going to view her message as extreme, and her language is going to be off-putting to some people, including my mother. And so I haven't told my mom about Princella the Queenmaker. And what's crazy is that when she talks about, even how Yanni's, maybe, some of her audience is going to find her message to be extreme, I can totally see how, maybe even a lot of people that are on my, like, my friends book, my Facebook friends list and stuff like that, who come from, the traditional Christian church, is going to find this message to be extreme. However, my father and his language was more extreme than Princella's. So it's shocking to me how, you know, in this stage, my mom would find Princella's message to be extreme and her language to be off-putting. However, she stayed married to my father, even though he used the same language, but in a way that was demeaning and degrading and diminishing of the women in the church, the men in the church, the children in the church, and my mother and us. And so it's like, I don't know, it's like a weird thing um that I noticed about some people. And what's also crazy is that they can validate not listening to this message because of that. They simply lack the discernment to really understand the reason for it, the reason for the so-called extreme nature of her message, or the language that she uses. And I don't know, I just find that a bit strange. And, um, I guess just to put it in a little bit of context, I was a double PK, so both of my parents were pastors. My mother was the co-pastor, my father the pastor. And, my father was, he had gotten to the point where he was, trying to kill my mother. And so, there was this murder plot that I was able to uncover, through discernment that helped my mother to recognize the danger that she was in and to get free before, he was successful at taking her life. And now it's been, since 2019 since we both left. I left in August, my mom left in October. And even still, I find it a bit difficult to really, um, I don't know, to really like reach her on a level that kind of breaks down the religious indoctrination um, that she's become so accustomed to. Even though if we really were to talk about it, she would see how it was, well, at least I would acknowledge how harmful it was and how it kept her, um, in a marriage that was harmful, that nearly took her life. But I don't think that she would recognize it as that. And I have to admit that I'm finding myself now, like in at this stage in my life, a bit um, impatient when it comes to really trying to, um, speak with her about it. Like I'm just finding myself to be like, okay, so I'm gonna. This is a video for another time, but I'm gonna do a video that says my my daddy is a dusty and my mom is a mammy. Y'all, I gotta like I really just gotta I really gotta do the video because I don't think I don't think we really understand how these foundational relationships have really like shaped us and how they have done so much damage to us to the point where we need Princella the Queenmaker to really like help to pull us out of this indoctrination. And a lot of it was based in religion, which is why I speak so much about the religious narcissist. Because I believe that in the Black community, because we are a community that is heavily religious, heavily spiritual, that when there is a narcissist among us, they use the very tactics that will reach us. And what will reach us is attacking our religion or attacking us through religion. And I know that it's not a black or a white thing, but it seems that when it comes to religious narcissism, it does seem to affect black men more so than white men. Although we'd have to admit that, some of the most prolific cult leaders were white. And they were able to amass large groups of people and have these people doing all kinds of devilment. But I think that when it comes to religious narcissism, it's on a spectrum, and you can think of it as the most heinous cult leader to the small town preacher. And that's what my father was. He was a small town preacher. And it was really like my discernment and the discernment of a few of the members that really kept him from being his best worst self. That really kept him from like creating a cult environment within our church. But he tried. I mean, y'all, he tried. I mean, to the point where he was keeping us from talking to each other, isolating us from each other. As soon as service was over, he would shut off the lights at the breaker box and telling us to get out so that none of us could really like talk and fellowship with one another. He would spread messages and lies between the members. I mean, even telling people not to have a relationship with me, telling me not to have a relationship with people. I mean, taking money, and doing all the things. And it's just, I'm seeing that right now, it seems that there are a lot of religious narcissists in the Black community that have taken to social media. And now they are spreading messages that are extremely harmful to women and to children. And women are literally dying. The Black femicide rate is at every 5.5 hours, there is a Black woman or girl that is dying at the hands of a lover, family member, at the hands of a Black man. And the fact of the matter is these men are justifying their violence towards women by a religious message. Now, when we think about religion, like, people will get a bit, crazy about that because they think, okay, religion is Christianity, so don't go attacking my Christianity, right? But really, religion is just a specific set of organized beliefs and practices, usually shared by a community or group. It's just a specific set of organized beliefs and practices. And so what we are finding now is that there is a rise of a lot of religions. And y'all, like, I know this is probably going to be a stretch and maybe you guys won't believe me here, but I believe that LGBTQIA plus whatever is becoming a religion. The incel community, the MGTOW community is becoming a religion. I really believe that. And these religions, quote unquote, right, are rising up and they are amassing a large group of people who are sharing these same beliefs. But they are strong in their message and they are actually creating a cult like environment and indoctrinating its members to do harmful things to anyone who doesn't agree or whoever they deem to be the target of their grief or their dissatisfaction or whatever it is. And right now, it seems to be women and children. Think about how these groups are rising up. Think about the messages that they are sending. It is not a message of love and inclusivity. It's a message of hate. It's a message of violence. And I believe that, like, these hotep groups, these little gurus that are rising up, even the Kevin Samuels message was becoming a religion. The Andrew Tate message, that's becoming a religion that people are swearing by. But you will notice that these messages are extremely harmful to women and children. African goddess, you said your mom can take and witness hateful language from, yeah, from a male, but not a woman is sadly not surprising. Most so-called women are misogynistic and sexist towards themselves and other women and, and girls. It's sad. Yeah, very sad. He said, pick me's and dusties are a cancer to women and girls. Progression, it is. Spiritual warfare. Yes, spiritual warfare. You're on point, sis. And I feel like, what the problem that people are going to find with Princella the Queenmaker is um that this message can also become a religion. Okay. Listen, look at God won't he do it? Okay? Because it's really a specific set of organized beliefs. And once we believe that we are loved, this message of love is the religion, right? The organized set of beliefs that we should be believing in. We should be practicing self love and self care. We should be doing those things, right? Because guess who we're harming? Absolutely nobody. Absolutely nobody. But if they tell it, then we are actually causing men harm, but by restricting access, giving no access to our bodies, to our energy, to our space. Let them tell it. We are the ones that is inflicting the most harm. Yet you can see these groups that are rising up, that are boldly boldly saying that they should inflict violence on women and children. And for some reason, I cannot figure out why these people have not been shut down for their harmful messages. I can't figure out why they haven't been shut down. But if we take that same energy, right? The same energy that they are spreading and how they're rising up as these cult like harmful religions, and say, well, you know what? Yeah, we can do the same thing, except we can empower women, we can build community, we can spread love, we can be love and show our own selves love, then we're the ones in the wrong. Think about it. Let's continue.
Government is majority male. Your religions are patriarchal religions. If we want to talk about extreme, baby, male domination is extreme. But me telling the flat out truth, raw truth, there is no extremism in this. Let me show you extreme, though. Let me show you extreme.
Show us extreme, sis.
I gotta
Show
log
us
into my other
extreme, sis.
account.
I told you I was gonna
I
get
had
on
it
my nerves
pulled
with
up, and then when my internet
this
went out,
little podcast machine. All these little sound
let's
effects.
see. Okay,
Okay.
let me show you extreme.
Yes, I'm here for it.
Cause Priscilla ain't doing nothing but telling you how to. All I'm trying to do is get you to focus on yourself and find your purpose. Live your best life and decenter males. That's my message. Decenter males. And I'm showing you the science on why you need to decenter males. Nobody wants to listen to the males tell you you delusional. I'm giving you science and on the infrastructure of why you are delusional, right? Why you are delusional. Let me show you something. This is extreme. This ain't my message, but this they message. This ain't my message, but this is their message. Let me show you their message.
You can do outside of killing the
Y'all.
black women we have right now.
Oh, y'all. When I heard this, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I just y'all. This is this was hard to hear. But these are the things that I'm telling you. It's like this. I don't even understand how this message is able to just be put out there, and there is there's no repercussions. There's no filtering of oh my goodness. Let's y'all got to hear this. Listen to this.
that will make any significant change in our society. Right. You can do outside of killing the black women we have right now that will make any significant change in our society. Once we see the root of evil, which is the black woman, we have to cut her out. You can't chastise her. You can't punish her. You can't discuss anything with her because she's made it blatantly clear that she does not care about you or your well being or what's best for you. She does not care about the rightness or the wrongness of anything. She just wants to win. She just wants what she wants. If the system isn't going to change, and it's not, if the female isn't going to change, and she's not, who needs to change? Us. We do. We've tried everything and we failed. The only thing we haven't tried is violence. And we know that will actually succeed.
Mm.
Historically speaking, it's always been the case. When you read the Bible, what does it tell you to do?
Y'all see how he cited the Bible in his justification? This is disturbing.
Create much of the environment that we're in. So all the negative things that we see in our environment, that came from this black woman. And what's awful, what's heart wrenching, is that other races of women are starting to emulate the behavior of black American women. This can't be allowed to continue. If you care about making any kind of meaningful change, you got to consider killing this black woman. And don't do it in such a way as to prevent you from taking action. Don't wait for everyone to agree with you. There are times when you just have to be the first to do something, even though you might risk being the only one to do it, which I guarantee you will not be the only one killing black women.
Yeah.
Trust me. Those who've always done God's work, the Creator's work, maybe, those people who have always been ostracized, never been the majority, they've always been the minority. They've always said the most unpopular things, even though those things were exactly what needed to be said. And in the end, they've always won. Are there going to be sacrifices and mortars and blah, blah, blah? Of course. Sure. But what side of history do you want to be on? Do you want to be on the side of history that empowered these hateful, evil black American women to do even more evil? Or do you want to be on the side of history that culled the herd of evildoers and brought order, sanity, and righteousness back to society?
I want y'all to hear, listen to what he's saying.
Oh my.
Listen to what he's saying. I ain't telling you to kill none of these Negroes. I'm just telling you to stop fucking them.
Yeah, but let them tell it. That's like us killing. What in the world? And just so y'all know, I'm married. I'm married. I have two black sons. I'm married to a black man. But I tell you guys, and I've told you this before, I do not advocate for marriage. I've been married 4 times. It took me 4 times to get it right. I don't advocate against it, but I certainly don't advocate for it because even though I am married what what I believe is a good man, and I don't even say a good black man. I'm just married to a good man who happens to be black. I realize that that is not the majority. And because I've done this multiple times, one out of 4 times, is then I got it right. But I wouldn't advocate for someone, to try that many times. You have to realize that the out of the 4 men that I was married to, I had 1 that was good. I had 2 of them that nearly tried to kill me. 1 brought a gun and pointed a gun at me, fought me. Another one fought me. Another one baby trapped me. So I don't advocate I do not advocate for marriage. I advocate for healthy relationships, however they come, however they present. And that's what I advocate for. But I am one who cut off my own father. I have not spoken to my father since 2019. I believe that there are situations and men where you have to cut all access. Absolutely no access to you. No communication, no exchange of energy, no attention, no anything. And for me, that man was my father. That's where I had to start. That was the root cause of my issues. And sadly, I believe that my father is a man who believes the same way as this Dennis Sperling man, because that is exactly what he tried to do to my mother. Thank you, African goddess. I agree. Marriage is a business and it's not easy to maintain a business. I'm glad you found your person. Absolutely. Let's continue.
I'm
I'm
telling you
telling
to
you to
stop.
stop fucking them and focus on yourself. I'm telling you to decenter them and focus on yourself. Why must you be killed? Listen to me. Listen to me. Why must you be killed as a black woman, right? For decentering them and closing your legs.
Now, I think it's important for me to say because, and since we're on the topic of marriage, that, even though I have found my person, as you put it, African goddess, that if ever there was a time when this relationship no longer served me, if it becomes toxic, if it becomes unhealthy, or it's no longer what I need, then I can walk away. And I think that that's important for a lot of us to be in that space of we don't have to just hold on to what is a societal norm. That if ever things change in our lives where we are at a different place or a different space or a relationship no longer serves us, then we have to be willing to let it go to save ourselves. And that's one of the things, I always thought like it was a bit of a blessing and a curse, right? Because I could always just walk away, like it's just something about me that where I could walk away from a relationship. It doesn't. I've never been so attached to where I just couldn't leave. And even when it was unsafe for me to leave, I still found a way. So like sometimes when you're in an unsafe situation, you have to be clever about how you leave. You have to be smart about it. You have to have a plan. You have to have, a support system and all of those things, right? So I advocate for all of that. But above all, you have to be willing to walk away from what no longer serves you. And serving you does not necessarily mean that it's some type of a slave, type of relationship where this person is just giving, giving, giving to you. No, I don't mean it in that way, but I mean it in a way of spiritually that the alignment is not where it needs to be, or you're at a different place in your life that caused you to be a different person, and that relationship is not going to go to the next level with you. So that is why I say I don't advocate for marriage, because at any point, even now that I've found my person, I walk away if the situation in my life calls for me to walk away. So I'm never too attached to where that, my purpose is clouded, and the vision for my future is clouded or stifled by my relationship. Let's continue.
Because I done told you, you are resource to them. And right
Down.
now, the government is starting to restrict resources. And when you restrict resources for people who are operating at the bottom of Maslow's hierarchy in need,
See?
they become savage. They become savage. But not only do they become savage
When they're
when they're operating at the lower end of Maslow's hierarchy of human needs, which I'll pull up here in a minute, right? They have been indoctrinated with patriarchal
religion
religions because
made
God is made
in the
in the
likeness
likeness
of
and image of a man. So, since everybody's worshiping a male God and these books are misogynistic, who are they turning to justify the evil that they want to do to you? They have made them believe evil is good. Evil, evil, evil is good. Uh huh.
Why?
Oh, see, I gotta pull it up
Why?
now. Let me throw a little. Let me throw a little bit of evil is good in there.
Why?
Let me throw a little bit of evil is good up in there.
Y'all have to
Evil,
admit that Priscilla
evil.
is extremely entertaining.
Oh, sucky now.
She is
What the hell? What?
extremely entertaining. African goddess, you said, I'm so sorry
Yeah,
you experienced
that's
those
going here.
gargles.
Put that over there. It's just
You are
want
a
you
vibe.
the game, baby.
Thank you for putting yourself and displaying what self love is. Putting yourself first. And I say it's putting myself first, but also putting my purpose first.
Come on now, everybody's waiting. Well, I don't know if right now is a good. Well, but right now I'm talking to the young. Yeah, the Lord waits for no one. Now, come on, get your butt here. Right now is not a good time.
Damn, what the hell is wrong with my internet?
God damn! Uh, God damn! Anybody who doesn't glorify in his work. It's a hell of a night outside. Come on, let's do the sermon on the lawn. Come on, sister. God damn! Yeah. Excuse me. Can we bring it down just a little bit, please? Can we bring it down just a little, please? Brothers and sisters, please quiet now.
Evil is
Brothers and
good.
sisters, we come here time after time and we talk about the same old, same old. Quiet. We talk about Jesus. That's right. Jesus said and Jesus went. Jesus heard and Jesus walked over. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Well, I don't want to talk about Jesus this evening. Because as the big man teaches us, it's two sides to every story. Not one, but two. A story is not one-sided. A story has a duality. There's two sides to every story. Which brings to mind the phrase, necessary evil. Now, I know many of you may hear the phrase necessary evil and you say to yourself, that don't even make no sense to me. There can't be no such thing as necessary. How's evil necessary? That don't match.
Yeah.
That's plaids and stripes, evil and necessary. You see, because without bad, there is no good. Without light, there is no dark. You need both these things. You know what I'm saying? If every day is a sunny day, well, then what's a sunny day? Well, the bottom line, brothers and sisters, what I'm trying to tell you tonight is that evil
Evil
is necessary.
How you spell that?
is necessary. If it's necessary, evil must be good. Evil is good, huh?
Why?
They done flipped the shit on you
Why?
big time. They done flipped the shit on you big time. And now, they done took this book that is made in the image and the likeness of a male, that speaks male nature all in it, totally misogynistic, and they preaching to you, right? To use this book to take your life. To use this book to take your life because of a loss of resources. And so, from the male's point of view, evil is necessary. Thereby, if it's necessary, then evil must be good. Right? Evil.
African goddess, why? Why? Why must you be this way? Oh God. A mess.
Must be good. Because what he's talking about is taking your life and raping your children to create a fantasy world that was sold to the male through patriarchal philosophy. I'm extreme though. I'm extreme for telling you to close your legs and see that these predators and go on and live your life and stop wasting your time on them. Extreme, baby, that's extreme. That is what we call extreme. Is it extreme for me to say that the majority of males wasn't supposed to get no punani? No, because I showed you the scientific nature of a male in all species. Their whole objective is to get their genes into another body. Who else say that? Who else say that? Let's see, let's look up Dr. Goldstein. What does Dr. Goldstein say about males and their purpose?
Yeah, I absolutely,
What does Dr. Goldstein say about males and their
absolutely
purpose? Let me
love
look
how
Dr.
Princella
Goldstein up
will
real
look
quick.
up other people who are saying the same thing.
Just to
Get it, girl. Yes.
remind you if you don't remember.
And she's just look it up so quick too. Just be like, who else says that?
Goldstein. Oh, I got a lot up in here, huh?
Yes, yes, you do. Yes, yes. And we thank God for you. Y'all, what y'all think of the video so far? What do y'all think so far? This is too much. This is too much.
Oh,
And you know
while
what?
I'm looking for Dr. Goldstein, check this out. Just so you know, I keep telling they predators, right? They're predators, and they tell you all the time that they predators.
I think younger women tend to be more impressionable. I think older women, you know, in my experience, you 30, 33, 35, the experiences that you have at that point is just, you know, a little bit too much for me. And you know, I really think in some cases you really can't teach an old dog new tricks. So I prefer, you know, my women to be the younger variety.
If a woman wants to respect you and give you the respect to lead and be
This what I'm talking about. Talking to these motherfuckers. This right here, what I'm talking about. Why are you trying to reason with you? That's because you want penis so bad. Well, if a woman wants to respect you and let you lead, man, fuck these niggas, man. Why are you trying to reason with a 3-year-old in the brain? Because that's what
He said you can't teach your old dog new tricks, Lord.
they are, right? Well, if a woman wants to respect, I don't understand why you just need, because you don't understand men. That's why you don't understand males. So this is a never ending conversation because you won't educate yourself on the nature of a male, just wasting time and energy.
and be her partner, why do you need to have that level of power over her if you're not trying to manipulate someone?
See,
Because
power,
they are trying to manipulate, because they are resource driven. They whole nature is survival of the fittest. Women are a resource. The man needs sex, so he needs to get something that's easy. But if you studied male nature, you would know that they are not like women. Women just exist. Males have to fight to exist. Right? Women just exist. Males have to fight to the death to continue to exist. And so they got to go for what's easy. They have to go for what is easy. Because that's the way their biology is wired. I'm just telling you the truth, though. Right? It's pointless having them conversations.
See, I don't have daughters, but I I have a very strong passion for daughters. Like I have nieces, and when I was in the church, like all the girls, always gravitated to me, and they were like my daughters, and it had gotten to the point just before I left that all of the youth left the church, including my sons. I have two sons, and every last young person left the church. And see, that's why I have like such a love for young people, because the young people of today are not, they ain't going. They are not, like, their discernment is on a level that like their parents and grandparents didn't have. They have a boldness that their parents and grandparents didn't have. And my kids and the other youth in the church were the first ones to leave. And my sons even said, they were like, I'm not getting anything out of church. They were like, Grandpa he just talks about himself all the time. He just talks about himself all the time. I'm not getting anything out of this. So they didn't stop going to church. They just went somewhere else. They just went somewhere else. They were like, this is enough. Well, now neither one of them. Well, like the youngest one goes periodically, but the oldest one, he's about to graduate college with an electrician degree, and he used to play drums, so he used to go all the time. But now he's working on Sundays and stuff like that, so that's what he does. But it's like they just knew. So I have like such a strong passion for young people, especially daughters. And maybe it comes from my own desire to have a daughter, but I just never did. My husband and I, we had 3 miscarriages. So, I was convinced that at least one of those babies was a girl. And I ended up naming her, even though, she only lasted like a couple weeks. It wasn't even at a point where, a gender was revealed or anything like that. But I just named her Lily, like my little lily in the valley. And I just took, those miscarriages to mean that um, I need to serve daughters, daughters like myself and daughters like many of you. And even if you have daughters yourself and now you're a mother or a grandmother, you're still somebody's daughter. And I think that in a time where womanhood is being attacked in such a way that it is being infiltrated by men, by males, it's important to distinguish ourselves. And the way we can distinguish ourselves is not by saying a real woman versus a trans woman or whatever. It's just like, I'm somebody's daughter. And really, it doesn't matter what any male or trans male says. No one ever just came out and said, well, that's my daughter. A daughter humanizes a woman that is a male is trying to dehumanize. It puts humanity back in the word female. That the word female has kind of taken that humanity out of. And so when we think of a daughter, it doesn't even really matter what age. It doesn't even put an age on it. It just says, that's my daughter. And even when that daughter becomes a mother and a grandmother, guess what? She's still somebody's daughter. And she needs to be handled as such. And so I have a really strong passion for daughters just like myself, who grew up with daddy issues, who grew up not really knowing her worth, being taught something that was harmful, that gave me a complex about my physical appearance and my ability to have a relationship with a man. I mean, my father said, you need to get married young because you're not going to be pretty forever. Like, what? Who says that to their daughter? Who says that? And so when you think of it like that, you have to put the humanity back in it. Okay, first of all, I got better with time, okay? Like, look at God, like, okay, listen. Okay. Like fine wine, honey, okay? Like fine wine. I get better with time. And why? It's because of my inner beauty, walking in my divinity and in my purpose. And I don't have to present myself in such a way where I can attract a man or that I present myself as valuable to a man. Despite my father and what he taught me, I know who I am now. And I want every daughter to know who they are. Would you say she literally, yeah, she's, girl, literally trying to reason with a terrorist. And that's exactly what this species of male has become, terrorists. African goddess, you said, wow, you really made the impact at the church, not your so called dad. Yeah. He drove everybody away. All the kids, all the youth left, every last one of them. Y'all, there was not one youth left. Actually, that's not true. It was one, the keyboardist. He stayed. And y'all, I don't know. I hope he, I don't know. I hope he is hearing this. He's still there. And when I tell you, he looks like he is like one step from the grave. he needs to leave. Like, he needs to leave. He needs to break ties and sever ties with my father. I don't know why he's still there. I really don't know why he's still there. But I think that there is something very sinister and very deviant that has happened, and that my father has groomed him. And now he's at a place where it's like he's so ensnared and entrapped that he cannot leave, that he can't find the strength to leave, that he can't even really fathom leaving my father. And if ever, someone gets in a position where they cannot leave a church, where they are so attached that they can't leave, it that just screams like harmful to me. Because you should never be, even the most healthy church, you should never be that attached to where you can't leave. A healthy church really promotes that you do leave, that eventually you grow and you begin to spread the message beyond, and um, beyond that church. You're supposed to grow. If you never grow, and then I can, clearly say that my father never grew. He never studied. He wouldn't even study for his sermons before he went up and preached. He would preach on whoever like pissed him off like that week. And we all knew like who he was talking about. He would just be talking about people right from the pulpit. It's just, I mean, just really unhealthy. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let's continue. I want to get a little bit more of this video, watch a little bit more of this video before I let y'all go for the night. Like, I can't do it like Miss Queen Princella, honey, because like y'all will sit there and watch her for hours and hours, but I haven't like quite built up that. Okay, listen, it's gonna be a minute before I can do like 3 and 4 hour lives. Like, she's done like 7+ hour lives, child. Okay, so let's do it. Let's get a little bit more of this video.
I done say too much stuff up in here.
I told you I was gonna get on y'all nerves with these sound effects. Speaking of
I can't
which,
find them. I ain't got time to look for them. But I know I be saving this stuff, and sometimes my stuff just be disappearing. Right?
That's like the funniest sound effects.
Right? It be disappearing. But the whole point of males is that they are here to get their needs met. But we gonna go back to that video because I am going to pull up Maslow's hierarchy because I'm finna show you. I'm about to show you what's going on and why males are acting the way that they're acting. And you can't do nothing but get the hell out the way. That is if you care about your life. You understand? That is if you care about your life. If you don't care about your life, then you're going to keep putting yourself in messed up situations that will end up bad for you, right? And you're going to be dependent on luck, right? You will be depending on luck. So let me pull that clown up again. And we're going to finish dissecting what he's saying because I'm finna show you visually.
I know what side of history I want to be on. Even if I died the same day I started cleansing the land, I know what side of history I would be on.
I started cleansing the land. Now listen, in my high power tier group, I had a show yesterday. I do private lives on Wednesday. And yesterday I read a bunch of quotes from philosophers, men, right? Let me just show you a couple of these quotes from a man by the name of Immanuel Kant, right?
Well,
I'm going to show you 3 quotes
that was like,
from 1780 something to 1804. Way before you was even thought of. Let me just show you this.
well, you think they would want to harm me?
Let me show you
Woman
this.
like this?
Ladies, since y'all want to keep buying into this nonsense, and y'all think I'm tripping when I say males. You think I'm tripping when I say males are beasts. They're animals by nature.
Yeah. Animals by nature.
Oh, before I put that one up, I do want to ask you this question. Why y'all still fucking men? Why you still fucking men?
You're not gonna shame me for having a small.
You not gonna shame me for having a
It sounds funny when I figure it is, but you're not gonna shame me for having a small dick. Sex is for reproduction. As long as I nut, my dick works just fine. You don't need to come. Oh my god. The man is the only one who needs to come for sex to be successful. A woman's erotic desires are extra. That's not my problem.
Y'all, what in the world?
Yeah. What? Yeah. I told you I'm about to get on y'all's nerves with these sound effects. What in the world? And he just puts this he just puts this right on the internet with his picture and everything. Do y'all think that's a real picture of him? He said, "You're not gonna shame me for my for having." Okay, you almost have to do it in the chipmunk voice, right? Because like,
You're not gonna shame me for having a small dick. Sex is for reproduction. As long as I nut, my dick works just fine. You don't need to come.
yeah, why?
small dick. Sex is for reproduction. As long as I nut, my dick works just fine. You don't need to come. Why you still having sex with men? The man is the only one who needs to come for sex to be successful. A woman's erotic desires are extra. That's not my problem. So you willing to, oh, baby, I got a lot of shit to show you tonight. You willing to risk your life for fucking diseases, right? Because the dude just brought her HIV, right? When she was HIV negative before she got married to him. So he just infected her with a disease. You willing to put yourself in domestic violence situations, right? You willing to do that? You're willing to get sexually assaulted. You're willing to be emotionally abused, mentally abused, all for the sake of what? And not get no pleasure from somebody who don't even give a damn about what you want out of it?
Mm-mm. Don't do it, sis.
Why you still fucking men? That's what I want to know. Princella being extreme though. Princella being extreme, but they tell you in every way they don't give a fuck about you. Why? Because they're selfish by nature. They need you, so they still fuck with you. That's the only reason they fuck with you, because it ain't because they like you. And it damn sure ain't because they love you, because they incapable of that.
Mm, mm, mm. This reminds me of the final conversation I had with my father. Um, when I left the church, my father called me the very next day, and I recorded that conversation. And so when I wrote my memoir, the memoir actually includes word for word transcriptions of the things that my father said to me um, in our final conversation together. And this was the final conversation where I knew that I could no longer have a relationship with my father, that I would never speak to him again, that it was over, that I would no longer give him access to me. And, he said the same things, that he needed me. I knew my father didn't love me, but he needed me. He needed me to maintain a facade. He needed me to continue to make him look like he was the righteous pastor that he pretended to be. He didn't love me. It didn't matter about my salvation. It didn't matter about the abuse that he was inflicting on the members, that he was inflicting on all of us. It didn't matter that I was having literal panic attacks as my father was preaching, because he would be threatening us with the Bible, y'all. Have you ever been gaslit, manipulated, exploited, abused with the Bible? And though you've been like groomed and indoctrinated to believe this Bible, this Christianity, you also have been abused and manipulated and controlled by that very same Bible. And those were the things that my father said to me. Like, I need you. You're going to tear, if you leave, you're going to tear the whole church down. And that's how I knew I had to leave. Because if I didn't leave, I would still be holding up this structure, this facade, this lie. And all I had to do was get the strength to walk away. And then the rest would just happen. And so that's what I did. I walked away. No access. No more energy. No more. You get no more of me. And I think that if we as daughters can just find the strength in whatever way we need to, it may not be with your parents, but more than likely, if you find yourself in situations that you need this message now, then it serves you to take a critical look at your foundational relationships, because more than likely, that's where the dysfunction started. And until you can just walk away from that, you may not really find the strength to do the necessary steps in every other area of your life. Like those foundational relationships, our parents and stuff like that, those are the hardest relationships to walk away from. There are times when I feel like, man, well, don't I need them? No, I don't. And no, you don't. There is a family that we were born with, and there is a family that we create. And this time in our lives is calling for us to create the family that we need, to create the community that we need, where we serve and we be served. And so I challenge you all, as I end this stream, to really take a look at your foundational relationships. Take a look at the relationships you have with your parents, with your brothers and sisters, with your aunts and uncles. Take a look at the relationships you have with your pastor, with the church as a whole. Think about it critically. And if you feel in any way that you are wrong for analyzing those relationships, then that is already a sign that it is dysfunctional and unhealthy. Because if you view your relationship with your creator the same way you view your relationship with an intolerable male or female, then that's probably not the creator that you need to serve. It's probably not your true creator. Even as a mother, I allow my children to find their way. That even if they have to question things, that they have the leeway to determine what is right so that they know it for themselves. But that's not the way that a lot of religion has been. It's been strict and intolerable, where you can't question it, where you can't think critically, where you can't use your discernment, where you can't self reflect. Because doing those things means that you're questioning the very religion itself. And that is unhealthy. That is toxic. That is dysfunctional. So divorce yourself from that toxicity. Take a critical look at those foundational relationships that left you susceptible to the manipulation and control and exploitation that has become a part of your life, become a part of your norm. African goddess, you said, girl, it's a damn shame. I know he's your dad and all, but I feel so angry. I'm keeping it cute and keep it mute. Your mom dropped the ball just like mine. Women got to do better for their daughters. Amen. And I'll leave it on that note, African goddess. You said it. Daughters have to do better for their daughters. There's this song by John Mayer, and it goes, fathers, be good to your daughters. Daughters will love like you do. Girls become mothers, turning. Wait, yeah. Girls become mothers, turning. No, girls become daughters, turn into mothers. So mothers, be good to your daughters too. Isn't that how it goes? Yes, that's it. No, girls become lovers who turn into mothers. So mothers, be good to your daughters too. That's how it goes. Okay? So we have to realize that we're all somebody's daughter. And that even when we have daughters, we still got to take that critical look inside because we could be passing on toxicity. So, I love you guys. And I'll just end it with this. song right here. You are important to me. I need you to survive. I love you guys. Bye bye for now.